So what? You see me laughing, so what? The blessing got me dancing. That favor got me jubilating. No sickness, no poverty. Glory to glory. Come and see. Glory, but you don't know my story. You see. Glory, but you don't know my story. Your time will come. When on God's time. When on Jehovah. When on God's time. Brothers and sisters, when on God's time. When on Yahweh. When on God's time. See, Palilala. When on God's time. Palilala. When on God's time.
There is a time and a season to every purpose under the heavens. See, every chance you cry, God sees, and everything you're going through, He knows. Everything that's set behind your back, He heard, and the time for your blessing is just a little while. And when He says yes, nobody can say no. When the time has come, then He knows you and you see it, and you see it. Mama,
you will see the goodness of our God. Hey, just wait, just wait, just wait. He's a God of miracles. He's a God of possibility. He will never leave you begging for bread. He will never, never, never forsake you. Yeah. Emmanuel, my God with us. Emmanuel, He's here with us. Emmanuel, with us. Emmanuel, He's here with us. On God's time, where on God's time, where back, where on God's time,
The fight against COVID-19 has become imperative to the
welcome to Take Me.
survival of the world, to the extent we must all get involved. The question is, how do I get involved? Get tested. Get tested if you feel COVID-19 symptoms. Example, sore throat, cough, headache, etc. Get tested if you know you met someone who is now COVID-19 positive. Get tested before going to places where you may meet a lot of people. Example, schools, work, etc. Get tested before traveling, both domestic and international travels. Get tested when asked by a healthcare or public official to do so. Get tested today. Know your status and seek treatment if need be to stay alive. A message sponsored by the African Career Education and Resource Incorporated, or ASA, in the state of Minnesota. Lapu's Kitchen, a Liberian-owned business operated by Johnson and Wales University's trained chef Joyce Matowia, is your dining away from home. At Lapu's Kitchen, we prepare all kinds of Liberian cuisines, including fried and rare oil potatoes green, kidney beans, palava sauce, fever leaves, and a lot more. We also make rice bread, meat pies, cookies, Benesi candies, and all kinds of pastry products. Place in your order online today from anywhere in the US at www.lorpuktchen.com. The good news is your package is sealed in an insulated cooling box and reaches your destination well preserved and fresh. Save yourself the stress and order the best from a professional chef. Lapu's Kitchen keeps your fingers licking. Hey there, here is a thing or two you need to know about COVID-19 and pregnancy. Pregnant and recently pregnant women are more at risk of severe illness from COVID-19. Most likely, hospitalization, need for ventilators, etc. Pregnant women who get COVID-19 are at a higher risk of preterm births and other complications. Most common symptom experienced by pregnant women after vaccination is pain at injection site. Research shows that vaccinations have no adverse effects in trying to get pregnant. Research showed that vaccine does not affect fertility of men. Vaccinated mothers pass on some immunity to their child through the placenta and through breast milk. It is safe to get the vaccine at any point before, during, and after pregnancy. It is safe to get the vaccine while breastfeeding. Get away from the misconceptions. Get vaccinated today to stay alive. A message sponsored by the African Career Education and Resource Incorporated, or ASA, in the state of Minnesota. Dimple Abraham Myers Insurance Agency Incorporated, a subsidiary of State Farm, is that company that is equipped with trained staff to handle all your lines of insurance. Our insurance services include auto insurance, home insurance, and rentals insurance. We also service business insurance, life insurance, and health insurance. Our insurance services cover Delaware, Pennsylvania, and Maryland. Dimple Abraham Myers Insurance Agency Incorporated is located in 18A Penmart Shopping Center, Newcastle, DE 19720. Our offices are open from Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. and Saturday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. For more information, call cell numbers 302-613-0038 or visit our website on www.dimplemakesitsimple.com. Dimple Abraham Myers Insurance Agency Incorporated. We've got all your insurance services covered. We have all heard, and in some cases, seen the danger posed by the coronavirus disease to our existence. We have sought ways in which this virus can be prevented, ranging from hand washing, social distancing, masking, and maintaining good hygiene. However, we now have an even better solution that has a history of effectiveness, which is vaccination. I know there are lots of misconceptions that surround vaccination. And as a result, people are reluctant in getting vaccinated. But here is a small historical fact for you. Smallpox and polio have a 100% decline in death since vaccines for these diseases were introduced. Not only that, measles and mumps have a 99% decline in deaths since vaccines for these diseases were introduced as well. We cannot allow vaccine-preventable diseases cut our lives short. Get vaccinated today and stay alive. A message sponsored by the African Career Education and Resource Incorporated, or ASA, in the state of Minnesota. Traveling to Liberia and want a shuttle service that is convenient, comfortable, and reliable? The name is LIB Executive Shuttle. LIB Executive Shuttle takes away the burden of commuting from the RRA and other parts of Liberia, as our fully air-conditioned vans with free Wi-Fi service perform the magic. Our services include luxury private and shared ride options, scheduled airport services, business or corporate travels, daily hired in and around Monrovia, including Kakata, Banga, Ganta, Buchanan, Freetown, etc. Our excursion packages include field trips to Sunset Beach, Patawi Waterfall, Wuka Farms, amongst a host of others. For more information, contact us on our USA numbers 001 301 750 1336 or our Liberian numbers on 0770 072 614. Better still, 0555 002 615, or check our website on www.libexecutiveshuttles.com. LIB Executive Shuttle, let us do the driving for you.
Highway. Shalom na highway.
In order to keep ourselves and others safe from the coronavirus disease, we must all get vaccinated. Here are a few facts about the coronavirus vaccine. The vaccine does not have anything in it that can make you magnetic. All COVID-19 vaccines are free of metals. The COVID-19 vaccines available in the US do not contain live virus. They do not share any of their parts inside or outside of your body. The vaccine is safe for current and future pregnancies. There is no proof showing unsafe results on taking the vaccine for current or future pregnancies, which means pregnant women can also take the vaccine. The COVID-19 vaccine does not change your DNA. In fact, it has absolutely no interaction with your DNA. The vaccine does not cause you to test positive for the virus. It is untrue, as none of the vaccine will cause you to test positive in a viral test. Therefore, the vaccine is safe to use. Get vaccinated today and stay alive. A message sponsored by the African Career Education and Resource Incorporated, or ASA, in the state of Minnesota.
We all know the headache we go through sending money to our loved ones, friends, and family in Liberia. High fees, long lines in banks, the usual complaint of the system being down, such a waste of time and energy. That is why I was very happy when I learned that SendWave is now in Liberia. So now I can send money anytime from anywhere directly from my smartphone to the MTN Lone Star Cell mobile money account of a loved one, friend, or family within seconds for just a tiny fee. So download SendWave now to your phone from your Apple Store or Google Play Store. Add your details, and don't worry, they are very safe and secure. And start sending money today. Don't forget to insert the promo code COSTA to get free $5 credit added to your first transfer. SendWave is secure, super fast, and by far the most affordable way to send money to Liberia. I'm Henry P. Costa and a very happy customer. Thank you.
All right, folks. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the program. You're listening to the Costa Show. You're watching us on Facebook, on YouTube. You're listening via. You're gonna listen via SoundCloud later today when Josh uploads the audio, or you're currently listening via MyTuner, Tuning, or the website. One of our 6 platforms. We're very glad to be here. It's a beautiful morning from where I sit. Good morning to you, Bwaka. Welcome.
Yeah, good morning, Costa, and good morning to our many listeners. We are back, like you said, after the break yesterday. Yesterday was holiday, and it was a great day here in Liberia.
So the American ambassador decided to give us a holiday gift. How are people responding to that, Bwaka? On the ground, in the communities, the people you interact with?
Yeah, not only holiday gift, but
How
also
are they
the graduation gift. Some people are graduating, so you have to give them their gift as they go about eating a salad. I don't know whether the salad will be sour or it will be, I don't know the taste. In their mouth
you mean
after.
you talking about the mayor, the honorable law mayor?
Yeah.
He was one of the people the American ambassador dealt with good. Talking about the international community not giving me support. So where you get the money from to buy the knockoff Gucci products, but he ain't got money to clear the garbage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he ain't got money to remove the garbage in the city, but he got money to buy knockoff Gucci products. What's wrong with these people? But how are the people reacting? The ordinary people. What are they saying?
Costa, people are so happy about his statement. Not only opposition, but the ordinary Liberians.
But the people we get, why the ordinary people we get? So why don't we happy about American people talking about bringing sanctions?
Because Costa, a lot of people not speaking out like you and I doing every day. Like other people will just sit and then brush over it. But a statement went in detail and make other people believe that people are watching what was happening in the government. We were not just
When I broke the news last year, March, that sanctions were coming, what did they say about me?
You are lying. You're a blackmailer. You're just trying to, do whatsoever you can do to pin the government black.
They said no sanctions are ever coming. But Baga, here's the thing. Why would a talk show host, an ordinary talk show host, such as myself, be the first to know that sanctions are coming and the whole government did not know? Please tell me.
Yeah, because they both confide in you than the government.
No, but the government got people paid lobbyists on the payroll. Okay? You mean the lobbyists didn't tell them that sanctions are going to come?
Costa, the thing is that contra. And if you put me in the opposition, like, but Boaka, sit down here, you be my co-host, and you're now giving me what all you're supposed to give me the agreement I was going into, it would just be your name. I would just kind of sit there and fold my hand. That's what happening to the lobbyist. If they tell the lobbyist, we'll give you this, and at the end of the month, when Mr. Tadafe or Samuel Twerken send the money to them, what you think the people do? It will just be the name. They post sitting there and washing them. And if you become a best lobbyist, that you are operating with, can do better, Costa, your work will be so difficult for you. You can be the best lobbyist on earth. But once you have a FCC and unsophisticated government,
if the client does not cooperate, but there are other aspects of it, okay? You see, the lobbyists rely on, they got to take a story to run with it. They got to, you see, the people, the lobbyists are going to lobby, the officials of government, either in Congress or in the White House or other administration officials. These are people who have their own research teams. They can look things up themselves. Today is these people can easily access information about your client. So you're not going to go to these people and tell them things that they're not going to be able to look up. They can verify these things. They can find out whether you're telling them the truth. If it is not the truth, they're not going to want to touch it. So, and then another thing is, there has to be something there that they can buy. What do I mean by that? You see, Ellen's lobbyists were able to sell one thing about her. The first woman president, democratically elected woman president on the continent. After many years of war, she was trying to, revitalize and rebuild a war-torn country. And she went to Harvard University, even though some people say she didn't go, but Ellen did go. Harvard itself refers to Ellen as a graduate with their MPA. But so Ellen could sell that, even though we all knew she was a damn rogue and she was a wicked old witch and all that kind of stuff. But the story she was selling abroad, she managed to sell that story very successfully. She sold that story, that narrative. But what is a narrative you can sell about our president? John Weir had a perfect narrative. To me, one almost as good as Ellen's narrative. And that is a poor boy.
Yeah.
A poor boy. A native boy.
Yeah.
From the slums of Gibraltar, one of the poorest communities in Liberia. He dropped out of high school, seeking greener pasture on the football pitch. Went to Cameroon in Douala, got spotted by a recruiter, made his way to France, and signed up with a football team there, and played and captivated the world, mesmerized them, bedazzled them with his talismanic football skills. Went on to captivate the football world. In 1995, he captured all three in one. Africa's best, Africa best, Europe best, world best. He conquered the world of football in 1 year. The first dark-skinned man to do so. And he came back home When the war was raging and rockets were dropping and people were dying left and right like flies, he epitomized hope and aspiration for the Liberian people. He raised the Liberian flag high on the international stage when there was nothing but doom and gloom. And today, that boy, being called upon by the people, besieged by men and women who look like him once, whom he represents, entered politics. And after 12 years of struggling, going back to school and educating himself and acquiring a bachelor's and a master's degree. And then he ran for the Senate when they said he had no political experience or no governance experience. He humbled himself, he ran for the Senate. When they said he wasn't ready to be president, he humbled himself and ran for vice president. And after a time in the Senate and after gaining some practical political governance experience, he went on to run for the presidency and was overwhelmingly elected president. And then he's working. You see, the story was beautiful until he became president.
So beautiful.
You see how I narrated the story just now? I narrated the story just now. It was beautiful. But then when he became president of the republic.
No, but Costa, before he becoming president, and the people thought that if he become the head of state, there could be a lot of changes. There could be,
their lives will change.
This is our own. This is our own. He's from the
because
slum.
He's one of them.
Yeah, he's part of us. He's from the
slum. Change because he's one of them. Because he came from Gibraltar, so he will know and understand how the people of Gibraltar feel. He will do things differently. He will make a radical shift. Until, of course, he became president. Then he began to break down his old homes and build brand new mansions. The condominiums are going up left and right. The private jet flying in the girlfriends from Ghana and other parts of the world. The big parties, the Hennessy XO, and going to play football every day, basketball, blocking traffic while people were caught up in Monrovia. You see, Bwaka? That is where the story changed. You see?
And when the story changed, Costa, people tried telling him that, oh, Mr. President, you are not doing well. You have to govern well. His surrogates, his people that he knows, his confidant will come. Mr. President, we are getting there. Things are on course.
You are the best. Who is strong?
Who is strong?
Of course, then they stole the donor money. I mean, the lessons long. so the story is spoiled. It's spoiled, By the time auditors started getting missing, hold on. Auditors started getting missing.
Yeah.
Murdered. Not just missing, but murdered. And everything just spoiled. Everything just spoiled. Massive corruption and all that kind of. But look, couple of things here, Bwaka. Couple of things here. Let's just talk about sanctions and what they can do to people here. Maybe our people don't understand. I'm pretty sure everyone who's watching or listening this morning might have already heard or watched my podcast from yesterday, which by now should have over 20,000 views on it. That's what happens when Henry Costa. Yeah, about 22,000 views. Yeah, it was 22,000 views, but it's even moving slower. Normally by now it would be like 30,000 people may have watched it. But yes, yesterday was a holiday in Liberia, so I can understand. But here is a point I wanted to make: the effects of sanctions. I don't know whether you've been following, Bwaka, what the global sanctions have been doing to the oligarchs of Russia. Let's forget the Russian state. Let's talk about individuals, because the sanctions the Americans are talking about are targeted individual sanctions. These are not sanctions that are going to come against the government as an institution. These sanctions are going to come as sanctions against individuals in the government. That's what they call them, targeted sanctions. They are targeted, precision-guided, targeted sanctions. Now, who's the owner of Chelsea Football Club? Ibrahimovic.
Yeah.
Roman Ibrahimovic was spotted at a Tel Aviv airport trying to catch a commercial flight. Hello? Ibrahimovic is a billionaire, and Forbes puts his net worth at $10 billion. He has a private jet, maybe two. He was spotted at the Tel Aviv airport, and you can Google this if you think I'm lying. waiting to catch a private jet, a commercial flight. Here is the thing, folks, you may not understand. The likes of Ibrahimovic don't know what it means to wait for a plane. One guy. We, the commoners, wait for a plane. We wait on the plane. We wait on the plane. Like I'm traveling somewhere today. I leave today, I come back tomorrow. I'm flying out. We wait on the plane. And I'm saying that so you all know, I will not be on the show tomorrow because I'm flying out this morning and I'll be back tomorrow. So I will be on the show. We're doing the show today, but we're not doing the show tomorrow. We will be on Friday. So back to what I was saying. The likes of Roman Ibrahimovic, they don't know what it means to wait for a plane. But today, Roman Ibrahimovic was caught at the Tel Aviv airport. There are pictures of him sitting there like the rest of us, waiting to catch a plane. And you know why? Because Ibrahimovic's plane has been sanctioned. Ibrahimovic's mansion in London has been seized. Ibrahimovic's yacht has been seized. So now the likes of Roman Ibrahimovic are getting to understand what it means to be sanctioned. His assets or his bank accounts with hundreds of millions. I'm not saying billions sitting. Those boys have their money tied up in assets and stocks and all that kind of stuff. But they've got millions and millions of dollars, or tens of millions, or hundreds of millions of dollars in cash, or maybe tens of millions, spending money, tied up. I'm not saying he's completely dry, but that's what sanctions do to people. Now, let's go to Liberia, because our guys in Liberia, they're nothing like Ibrahimovic, right? What did the sanctions do to Vani Sherman? For almost 2 decades, or longer than that, Sherman Law Firm was the most powerful law firm in the country. People were awestruck and were afraid and shudder with fear when the name Sherman Law Firm was mentioned as the opposing counsel. If you and Sherman Law Firm were in court and you were on the other side, you almost knew that you were going to lose because Sherman was going to win. They say it is Vani Sherman who made that saying popular. They say a good lawyer knows the law, but the best lawyer knows the judge. Something like that. Vani Sherman knew the judge, or at least knew how to get to the judge. And you, my friend, know how to write a good brief, know how to argue your case based on the law, but Vani Sherman knew how to bribe the damn judge. So a good lawyer knows the law, but the best lawyer knows the judge. And Sherman knew how to get to the judge. And so almost every time, Sherman would win the case. Even when it didn't seem like the case was winnable, Vani Sherman knew how to win the damn case. That is how Vani Sherman thrived and built the most successful law firm in the country. Vani Sherman represented almost every single multinational corporation or international concession that came to Liberia. All the ArcelorMittals of the world, the Firestones of the world, the BHP Billitons of the world. You name it, you name it. He represented them all. The Eaton, forget Eaton, all those crooked concessionaires that came to Liberia were represented by Harry Bodo Nambi Vani Sherman. He represented them. In the process, he made millions and millions and millions of dollars in billable hours. Sherman didn't make his money from going to court to represent clients. No, that's not how he made his money. Sherman made his millions through billable hours, representing bad concessionaires such as Sable Money, getting laws legitimately, criminally, and illegally changed, influencing them through bribery to get things done for his clients. That is how Sherman made all that damn money. When the Americans got ready for Sherman, what did they do? He even represented the United States Embassy. That's correct. He was their lawyer. That's how they ball all over the place. When the Americans got ready, what did they do to Vani Sherman guy? They brought the hammer down, the heavy hammer called the global Magnitsky sanctions. They brought it down on Vani Sherman. Today, Vani Sharma is no more. The Sharma and Sharma law firm is closed. It's finished. It's kaput. Once the greatest law firm in the country in recent memory is no longer. Vani Sharma is finished. Kaput. He's over. Except for the salary he makes from the Senate, he has no more business running. Don't play with Uncle Sam. The global Magnitsky sanction. You know, Prince Johnson can brag that, oh, I don't need to go to America. But guess what? Vani Sharma could not brag about that. He represented Firestone, represented the United States Embassy, represented ArcelorMittal, represented you
Lack.
I said all the companies were represented by Vani Sharma. He made millions and millions and millions of dollars helping these companies find the loopholes, sometimes even bending the law, such as the case with Sable Mining in 2016. He bent the law. He bent the law to help his client. They gave him over $800,000 US to bribe people. Sherman dished that money around left and right, dished that money about, and got the people to change the law to favor his company, Sable Mining. P Mountain, M&G Gold, all the companies, you name it, Sherman represents them all. He knew how to bend the system to his will, to line his pockets, to fatten his bank account. He became arrogant. He thought he was immortal. When the man speaks, you can hear the arrogance coming, spewing out of his mouth. Sherman, what an arrogant man. But all that arrogance has dissipated. The Americans just completely, the arrogance gone. Where is Vani Sharma today? When was the last time you heard Harry Bodonami Vani Sharma speak? Today he's in the Senate like a regular Joe Blow. Absolutely. That is what the power of American sanctions can do. They can make the likes of billionaires, the likes of Roman Abramovich, sit in an airport waiting to catch a commercial flight when his private jet, probably a Bombardier or a Gulfstream or a Learjet, is sitting there somewhere, parked on some tarmac in some hangar on some airport in some country. That is what Uncle Sam can do. Don't mess with Uncle Sam. Vani Sharma, finish, kaput, over. No more powerful lawyer for the rest of his life. And the thing about those sanctions, Hawkeye, when those sanctions come raining down on you, my boy, there is no way you are going to be able to undo them. Look, let me tell you something, what the Americans did to the former vice president of Nigeria, Atiku Abubakar. Atiku Abubakar was vice president to Olusegun Obasanjo. Atiku and his wife solicited bribe from a telecoms giant. What is their name? Siemens, I believe, the German telecoms giant Siemens. I think they are German or they are from Scandinavia, one of those parts of the world. But they got $30 million in bribe, Siemens wanted to do a contract in a project in Nigeria. And Atiku was vice president. And he solicited the money. $30 million in bribe. Do you know what Salama Swan did with that money? He and his wife? They sent that money to be deposited in the bank account in the United States. What guy? You see how stupid that boy is? Atiku Abubakar had that money sent to the United States to be deposited. The U.S. Justice Department confiscated the account. They seized the money and they placed Atiku. The U.S. Senate conducted an investigation and they found Atiku guilty and they slapped him with sanctions. Atiku Abubakar could not come to America for many years. It hampered his political aspirations to become president of Nigeria. It was not until the last election in which he participated that he was able to hire the right lobbyists when Trump was in power. You know what that boy did? That boy he hired 3 lobbyists. One of whom was referred to as Trump's lobbyist. That boy hired Trump's lobbyist. They lifted the sanctions temporarily on Donald Trump. He was able to come to the United States and he booked a few rooms in Trump's International Hotel in the old post office in Washington, D.C. You see where the boy went to stay? In Trump's hotel in Washington, D.C. He hired who? Trump's lobbyist. That is what the boy did. You don't mess with Uncle Sam. And they granted him what they call temporary reprieve. They just lifted the sanctions a little bit so he could travel to the US to meet with people. When these sanctions are brought, the sanctions that are coming, they will destroy their lives. All the money that you are taking and you think that you are free, guess what? Your lives will be destroyed. Nobody who is connected with America will do business with you. Nobody who is you will not be able to travel to a number of countries. Nobody will do business with you. I mean, it's just terribly bad. The sanctions are debilitating and they are devastating. See what they've done to Barney Sherman. And so, my friends, if there's anything you can do to avoid these sanctions, but I'm sorry, it's late. It's late. When I sounded the alarm back in March of last year, exactly 1 year this month, there were those of you who said I was lying. Costa is a bloody liar. There are no sanctions coming. Who the hell is he to know that sanctions will come to Liberia? Some of them say, who is Costa that he would know about sanctions coming and we would not know? That is what they said. Arrogant, stupid things such as that. They were consumed by the hubris. Little did they know that my sources were correct, that sanctions were coming. And they said, who the hell is Congressman Chris Smith? He's just one representative from the state of New Jersey. How can he make sanctions come? Here we are today. The chief representative, the number one diplomat to the Republic of Liberia, representing the United States of America, has said in no uncertain terms, in no ambiguous terms, that sanctions are indeed coming. He has said that the United States government is compelled. That is the word that they need to look at, compelled. May we define the word compelled? I think we should define the word compelled. Maybe our men and I know the meaning of the word compelled. So maybe I should find a Merriam-Webster dictionary definition of the word compelled. Compelled. That the dictionary didn't know. I won't go to ordinary dictionary. Compelled. Compelled. Okay. The Merriam-Webster dictionary defines the word compelled to drive. Compel. Let's use the verb. It is the verb. To drive or urge forcefully or irresistibly. And they gave some examples. Hunger compelled him to eat. The general was compelled to surrender. To cause to do or occur by overwhelming pressure. You see this word the Americans used? That your actions have compelled them to bring sanctions against you. Buckeye. Is that not a strong thing, Buckeye? What? That you have compelled them to bring sanctions.
It's just I'm forcing Costa to do something for me, whether he get it or he get it. You must do it.
You see, it is not a desire. It is compel has got nothing to do with desire. It has got everything to do with having no will or no option. It is against their will. They're not doing it because they want to do it. The Americans, these sanctions are not malicious sanctions. These sanctions are aimed at ensuring that you take corrective steps to fix the country, to steer away from the collapse of the democracy, which we all have paid the ultimate price to build. You have compelled the Americans. You have forced their hands that they must bring sanctions against you. Amen, Buckeye. This is where you have placed the Americans. And who do you have to blame, Buckeye? Who's gonna cry?
Yourself. You will cry. Now the American will cry. Your very self will cry. And now they have started crying. You saw a post from Akaros Gray.
What did he say?
Let us welcome the U.S. ambassador statement in good faith and fight in getting rid of corruption in the country. We leaders have to.
Hold on.
Go check the main page. Please check the main page.
That marijuana smoking boy.
Yeah.
When I broke this news that sanctions were coming last year, what did Gray say? Gray was out and about attacking Congressman Chris Smith.
Yep.
Gray has been trying to get a visa to come to the U.S. They have refused him visa. His daughter, his beloved daughter and only child, and she's a young girl, and I would have, and she has nothing to do with this. I'm just mentioning. His beloved daughter, who lives with his mother in Philadelphia, was graduating high school. Gray could not get a visa to come to America. I went to Akaras's inbox. I warned Akaras Gray. I said, Gray, stop attacking Congressman Chris Smith. You are a representative yourself. The last thing you should do is to be on social media, raining insults, attacking a prominent, powerful U.S. congressman because he says he's bringing sanctions against your country and your officials. Not even your country, but officials in government. Akaras Gray told me he went public and said he did a post in response to my advice that I gave him inside his inbox. I did not take it to the public. I went to his inbox. I said, Gray, be warned. The Americans are watching. They are following your social media postings. That boy came to the public and wrote and said, Costa, I want to tell you, go tell your American friends. They can't do anything to me. Nothing. Since last year, Akaras has been trying to get a visa to come to the States. He cannot come. But Baga, you remember Akaras used to be in America all the time. His girlfriend, Love Weir, is in the United States. I think she lives in Virginia. Akaras will come visit his mom and his daughter in Philadelphia. Now Akaras cannot get a visa. His daughter was graduating high school. He really didn't want to come. He went to the embassy. They denied him a visa. For the first time, Akaras Gray was denied a visa. Even when he was in CDC and poor and hungry, before he became representative, Akaras was never denied a visa. So now you see what he writes? It is because he knows what I said then is happening now. Poor Akaras.
Hey, Costa, check the main page. You know what I'm talking about.
Let me go read the main post. Poor Akaras. I warned that boy. But the marijuana will not let him think straight. I warned the boy, but the marijuana will not let him think straight. This is what he wrote. Yeah. The op-ed by the U.S. ambassador should be taken in good faith. Oh, that now Akaras said the government must take the op-ed for the ambassador in good faith. Yeah. The same Akaras who said Chris Smith is a useless man, he's a good for nothing man, he's insignificant, he can't do anything.
He's just a lawmaker. That's what it means.
That's what he said. He said that man, just ordinary lawmaker, stupid boy. You don't know who Chris Smith is. This man is a 42-year veteran in the United States Congress. This man, 42-year veteran. He has the second highest laws attributed to him.
42 years.
42 years. This man has 43 laws passed into 43 bills passed into law attributed to Chris Smith. I mean,
how many bills Akaras do not pass?
Zero. Zero. Akaras people marijuana smoking Gray. Zero. Then he dare open his mouth. I warned that boy. I went to his inbox. I said, Akaras, you're not just some ordinary stupidician. You are a lawmaker, stupidician. I know you're stupid, but be careful. Conduct yourself wisely. I didn't exactly call him stupid, but I warned him. You know what he told me in your inbox? Costa, my man, leave me alone. Go tell your American friends. They can't do anything to me. They are foolish people. They're dead. They die. In fact, I will write on Facebook. I will challenge Chris Smith. But you see, brother, what they didn't know. Yeah, they should have done their research. You don't mess with Chris Smith. You don't know who you're playing with. Chris Smith, when they mobilized, even the Democrats, they are working together. The man who visited Liberia the last time, chairing the delegation, the congressional delegation, Gregory Meeks, he's a representative of the Congress of the 5th Congressional District of New York. He's a black man, the first black chairman of the all-powerful Foreign Affairs Committee. That is the man who sponsored the resolution that has passed and that's calling for more sanctions and stuff. You don't mess with these people. But let me read further what Akaras wrote. The op-ed by the U.S. ambassador should be taken in good faith, especially with his focus on 174 years since independence. The choice to change the narrative is in our hands as national leaders. And we must confront the problems robustly by rewriting the unfortunate narrative. I believe we are on course and can end the culture of impunity, the culture of corruption, impunity, and the vices eating. He still writes nonsense. He said he believes they are on course. If you were on course to make an effort, you will not be in this situation.
Yeah.
If you were on course to making efforts, you will not be in this situation at all. But let's take some calls. I gotta make a call quick.
Okay. So, folks, the lines are open 0770-102-102-886, 0103-83-555-102-102. The WhatsApp number is +231-888-624171. You listen to, or you read the U.S. ambassador press release yesterday that have sent our, entire government incommunicado. Les play the air. Lay down on bend on knees. So what do you make of that? The phone lines are open 0770-102-102-886, 0103-83-555-102-102. We told them that things were not good. Sanctions were coming, but they said, oh, you guys are lying. You guys are blackmailers. You are this, you are that. But now you see how things are going. Just yesterday, from yesterday to today, the entire government, Samuel Twe, that normally posts on his press page, you can hear from him. The Nathaniel McGill, the Koji that normally have press conference, probably today at 12 p.m. you will have another press conference because normally you're having press conference there at the Moravia City Hall. So waiting for him so he can tell us what's up. So now let's go to the phone line. Let's take somebody. Our mom. Good morning. Welcome.
Morning, Boakai.
Yeah.
I knew Americans were coming. You see, like the party that they just had at in the mansion, acting there, posting picture with all those guys, they are CIA. They didn't come for you. They came to look, to make sure what people are saying is true. Akara Greyway, we smoking say ball, hard tax sneaker cost about how many dollars? They're talking about the country being corrupt and you buying sneaker. You're a teenager. Yeah. We can't hear from John, what they call Prince Johnson again. He went in a lay village and sat down because they squeeze all their balls. And when Americans ready, they can laugh for you. A white man can laugh for you, but when they're ready for you, they are not friends with nobody. When they're ready for you, they will deal with you. And George Weah will be next.
Okay, so more sanctions are coming. That was the second to the last paragraph there. Yeah, in the U.S. ambassador statement. Sanctions are coming. Who are those sanctions coming for? The people that are playing the games now. People that are sharing our country resources around, making it look like the country belongs to them. You see that? We gave you a piece of job for 6 years. But now you are calling for 24 years. You are calling for 6 years. Let me say 12 years. The first 6 years that we gave you, you can't do anything better. But you are calling for 12 years, 24 years. Now you see what's happening. When we give boys the job to do, when we give boys men jobs to do, that's what's happening. Let's go to the phone line and take somebody from this line here. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Market Camara. Good morning, Costa, General Costa. Yesterday I come through. I'm Gobo M. Camara.
Yeah, welcome.
I'm not happy for Liberia, but I'm happy for stupid citizens to know that other almost suffer. We're all sleeping in hunger. Now they're sleeping in the same hunger. Everything I've got, our prayer are being increased, the Banco prayer are being increased, the gasoline prayer are being increased, nowhere in West Africa are being done that. Transportation, I'm telling you, transportation, if you get 30, you get $50. For you to get $20, you cannot have change. This morning, my children, they have $40, $40 to divide among their parents. No change, way wrong.
Okay.
I'm not happy what happened to Liberia. But I'm happy they eat our resources. We're sleeping hunger.
Okay, thank you so much, Pangomo. But you see that, yeah, you see what's happening, and nobody should tell you that what's happening. They are happy about it. Now you will not see. We waiting for the press statement from the government, most especially the Ministry of Information, the MCC, or the Samuel Tuel, the McGill. We want your response. You can't respond. What are you waiting for? Your respond. Yeah, your response is closing about 24 hours now. Let's take this person. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, your name, where you calling us from?
I'm Lamini Espona from Palm County.
Lamini, go ahead. Take 1 minute quickly.
Yeah, thank you very much. You know, when European Union talk about the city of Monrovia under Jefferson Koji, the people were saying, oh, you need a ball. The ball is wetting.
Yeah.
This and that. Or the people, they hate the government. All those kind of things. I think U.S. ambassador come back with the same thing. Look, bringing Costa to a government in Liberia is bringing directly like America involvement into government in Liberia. I don't know where our leaders can get the information from the American government. Therefore, here, don't play with him. And we should pray that they meant to serve Liberia one day.
Okay.
Start from the Senate. We are ready praying, man.
All right. Thank you so much. Let's take Martina Kunate on this line. Martina, good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Buaka. Good morning to my leader. Good morning to our many listeners. Martina Kunate, Costa Show on the land this morning. Buaka, I want to give a parable. This old woman saw her granddaughter. You go to that party, be careful how you think. Don't dance and break your legs. Because if you dance something away, that place rocking your legs will get broken. And when she danced, she broke her legs. When the information reached the old man said, I'm not happy about my granddaughter broke her legs. But I'm happy because I warned her and she has seen it. That's what happening right now with this type of thing. We are not happy for the censor because the ordinary Nigerians, they pull basket with seeds. People imagine their censor, you start government with t-shirt that will go and lock it up there. So we in this country, even though they can tell they're in a 5% and the rest for the public, but at least. But censoring there now, but we going out there to go nothing. It means that the property rate will increase in this country. But we are happy because they were warned about this very section. My question to this government, yes, they were going on around taking papers. Some delegates that went to America, they said they will be nothing.
Yeah.
So how about I want to this issue? So you want to tell me that when they went another taxpayer of money again in America?
Okay. Yeah, thank you so much, Martina. They left from here, they went America, used our tax dollars, and said they were going to lobby. They use our money. Now, probably they may send another more team.
Let's take some more calls there. I just heard someone say the sanctions will affect ordinary Liberians. That is not true.
No.
The sanctions are targeted sanctions. Does the Vaccination sanction affect you?
Nope.
Does the Prince Johnson sanction affect you? It doesn't. The Prince Johnson sanction does not affect you. The Vaccination sanction, yes. The people who work in a law firm, yes. But not the country as a whole. No. Let's take some more calls.
Yep. The WhatsApp number is +231 888 624171. That's the WhatsApp number. So call me and you will be live on the show this morning. So we taking your calls. So 0770-102-102.
So let me just say something here. The Chief Justice Francis Kokpo is retiring. As you all may be aware. Justice Kokpo finally admits his age. And he says he is retiring because he has hit the age. Okay. But you need to listen to this. you know the matter regarding Ecofield. You know the company that Musa Ability partner with, the group that Ability partner with to build the tank farm there, Bwaka?
Wow.
That particular group and Musa Ability have been in court for a while. Ability took Ecofield. He managed to, let me just give you the backstory quickly. These guys, I'm told they are from somewhere in Europe, the UK or somewhere. They came to Liberia. They met with Musa Ability. Musa Ability had leased a parcel of land from the National Port Authority. They intend to build a tank farm, like what LPRC has, to store petroleum products so people can pay him storage fees. A private terminal, that's what it's called. A private terminal with the storage facilities to store petroleum products so that people would pay him storage fees. He leased the land, but he did not have the money to construct the tank farm or the terminal. So these guys came from Europe. They met with Ability. They signed an agreement with Ability. They signed an agreement with Ability in 2015. They signed a deal with Ability for them to go into a partnership, for them to build this tank farm. That was the deal. 2015. These guys went and raised 18 million US dollars from banks in Europe, I think in Switzerland or someplace else. $80 million. They brought the money and they began the construction. The deal was they would send Musa Ability owns the land or lease the land. Musa Ability had the leasehold. He doesn't own the land. He leased the land from the National Port Authority. So what they did, they offered to give Mr. Ability, they negotiated, Ability demanded 50%. Listen to this guy. Musa Ability is everything that is wrong with people wanting to do business in our country. They offered, Musa Ability countered, and then they finally agreed. They settled on 50-50. You hold a lease for a land, black eye, I bring $18 million. But come to think of it, do you think that's a fair deal? 18, I did not say 80, I said 18, 18 million dollars. Musa Ability leased the land from National Port Authority. These boys brought $18 million, 18. They invested the money. The deal was Musa Ability gets 50%, they get 50%. That was the deal. They started running the facility. Musa Ability gets up one day, and Ability decides that the guys were committing fraud. Yeah. So what does Musa Ability do? Ability runs to the court. Yeah. Musa Ability runs to the court in Liberia, claiming that the guys are trying to take or dupe. Musa Ability gets the court to cease operations of the facility. Yes. This is 2018. That's when Ability brought the case against the guys, his partners. When they built their facility, they were running the facility, but Musa Ability was their partner, so they were running the facility. They signed the agreement, 50-50. Musa Ability runs to court and claims fraud. And then the court decides to issue a stay order. If the Supreme Court ordered that the terminal should not be operated while the case is before them. But guess what? Even though the Supreme Court explicitly ordered that the tank farm should not be operated while the matter is in court, Bility for the last 2 years has been operating the tank farm, making lots of money from the tank farm. But you know, Baga, they are called Ecofield. That's the company, Ecofield. How many of you would have such an opportunity? You lease a piece of land from somebody or from the government. An investor comes and says, you know, that piece of land you lease, I'm going to bring $18 million. $18 million. And you put that money in, we build a facility, and we split it 50-50. How many of you, my friends? How many of you would have such an opportunity and throw it away as has most ability, or try to croak that partner, that investor, as most ability is trying to do? For the last 2 years, Bility, while the case is in court, even though the Supreme Court said nobody should operate a tank farm, Musa Bility is operating the people's tank farm, abusing the facility. He doesn't know how to run the facility, and he's making money in storage fees.
Up to now.
Up to now. The Supreme Court ruling, the Supreme Court instruction is there. The tank farm should not be operated by either party. Not by the Ecofield people, neither by Musa Bility party. It should be, they should cease to desist any and every operation until the matter is fully adjudicated in court. That is the mandate from the Supreme Court. However, listen to this. Bility has somehow managed to get Francis Kokwo, the soon-to-be retired Chief Justice, to allow him to operate the facility. Even when Ecofield complains to the very Supreme Court that your mandate, that the tank farm not be operated, is being ignored by Musa Bility. He is still operating the tank farm. He is still making money from the tank farm. He is abusing the facility because he doesn't know how to operate these high-tech equipment. The court has not acted to stop Musa Bility from operating the tank farm. Now, I was just reliably informed, Buakai, that Musa Bility has purchased and gifted the Honorable, soon-to-be retired Chief Justice Francis Kokwo a brand new pickup truck. Musa Bility, you know him and he likes pickups, right? He likes to give vehicles. Right?
They may love cars. They make him normally buy a car for people. Generally, you're going to buy water on the street. And they don't know thing he can do for people.
Remember the Nima County team when they won, he gave them more bus, right?
Yes.
He likes cars. Yes. He likes to buy cars and give them to people, right? You know when he did with Liberty Party, right? When he was greasing them to make for them to make him chairman. Well, I have just been told that Bility bought and gifted the Chief Justice a brand new pickup. Brand new pickup. The Chief Justice has said that he will rule on this case before he leaves. Throughout the dispute for the last 2 years, Bility is making money from the tank farm, whereas the people who borrowed $18 million from a bank in Europe are not seeing $1 come in from this tank farm. While Mr. Bility is making money from it, they are not making any money. They are sitting there and watching Bility make money from the tank farm while they're not making any money from it at all. And the sad part, Waka, is this, that the bank, those loans that those investors secured to invest in constructing this private terminal, they are paying interest on that loan, Waka. They are paying interest on that loan because they secured that loan in their company's name, Waka. They are paying the interest on that loan while Bility is benefiting from the tank farm alone. Waka, is this a sort of place you want to go and invest? Where the rule of law does not work? Where the investors don't have any security of tenure? They are paying interest on that loan while Musa Bility is single-handedly benefiting from the tank farm through his company, Streamex. The money you see him spending, the pickup pickup you see he bought for Liberty Party is from the storage fees he collected from that tank farm.
Wow.
The money you see him giving around, acting like he's a rich man, is the money he's making from that tank farm. Ability does not import petroleum products anymore. He's only making money, generating money in storage fees from the tank farm that the investors built. Amen. How would anybody go to such a country? Musa Ability, even the lease of the land from the Liberia, from the National Port Authority, the company was the one, they assumed the liability for that. They paid the lease money. Okay. You see how dangerous and wicked Musa Ability is? This is the country you want to go and invest in? That the likes of Ability will do this? The Chief Justice has been sitting on this case, because Ability has been bribing the Chief Justice. Ability has been bribing the Chief Justice and just give him a pickup, according to my sources. Now, I don't know whether he added any money on top of it, but I know about the pickup. That's what I know about. I know about the pickup. I don't know whether he added any money on top of the pickup, but I do know about the pickup. Musa Ability is a very, very dangerous man. He's a very dangerous man. And so, my friends, this is a sad thing. You borrow $18 million from a bank in a foreign country. You take it to Liberia. You meet a Liberian man who has a leasehold for a piece of land. He leased from, I think the land is about 2-3 acres of land, but not even a massive land. In that sense, these people invested millions and millions of dollars in this land. Ability alone is enjoying the money. For the last 2 years, Ability has been enjoying this money.
Damn it.
And who protects Musa Ability? The case has been in court since 2018, Boakai. Ability just got up one day and claimed foul and went to court. You see what he did? He got up and just said, oh, they're trying to crook me. I don't even want to get down into the nonsense claim that he made. He dragged the people to court since 2018, Boakai. The case been in the Supreme Court. Kopo is saying now that he will rule before he retires. Liberia is a sad place. Oh, what kind of news do you think these investors will take abroad, Boakai? Tell me.
Bad news.
If they ever met somebody else coming to Liberia to invest money, what would they say to them? Do not go
Don't go there. Don't go there. Don't go there. That's it.
Musa Ability collects the people's money. He uses it to buy political parties, to bribe them with pickups and stuff, and pay delegates to make him chairman of a political party. Whereas these investors are crying. Imagine, Waga, you are paying interest on a loan that you secure to invest in a business in a foreign country that you are no longer benefiting from, and the partner you went into business with is the one enjoying while you are paying the interest on the loan. Imagine that, Waga.
Yeah.
Imagine Musa Ability. This guy is a wicked, corrupt son of a swan. And to think that this is the guy. The case is in court right now. Kopo has been sitting on this case. Francis Kopo. Musa Ability just drove a brand new pickup to Francis Kopo's yard as a gift. Musa's objective? He's trying to take this place for himself. Kick the people out and take it for himself. You see the white power who making all that big mouth? She can be on Facebook acting like she's so clean, she's squeaky clean. She is the CEO of the people's facility. Musa Ability paying her, I don't know, $7,000 a month from these people's tank. You know why I've got no more respect for white power. She works for one of the sleaziest crooks in the country. She knows all his shady transactions, dealings.
Yeah, she's responsible for that. Yeah.
Yeah, and she's the CEO. And then she will come on social media and act like she is a reformist. She is an agent of change, and she wants a new Liberia, and blah, 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 blah. And whereas she works for Musability of all people. I'm twisting these foreign investors, Wakai. The guys are very, very discouraged, Wakai. Very, very discouraged. So they're paying him about what? It's 20 cents on a gallon.
Damn it. 20 cents. 20 cents on a gallon. You bring
He's making
10,000
a lot
gallons.
of money. The Universal Library issue statement that they did an investigation and they find no evidence to deny Jefferson Koji of graduation.
Just go to the second one. Don't waste your time. All the other one. Just go to the last part. They posted they can't deny Jefferson Koji because they have done their investigation and everything they got from there. Jefferson Koji is.
Jefferson Koji went to school. The people say Jefferson Koji attended school, so they can't. They can't deny him from graduating. But you know, brother, I just thought to share this stuff with the people this morning, so you know where the money comes from. The money that Musa Belede used to bribe the people at the convention, the Liberty Party, the pickups he bought to pave his way to become chairman of Liberty Party, it is from this tank farm, the Ecofuel tank farm, that these European investors secured $18 million from a bank in Switzerland and invested in this. Hey man, look, brother, let us say your mom left you with land or your pa left you with land. And some investor come and say, Bwaka, I want to put $18 million into this place. And you and I will be 50-50 partner. Bwaka, is that not a blessing?
Totally.
Then you turn around, you want crook looking at people, man. Musability is a wicked guy. You know, that's what makes me sick about Cummings. On one side of his mouth, he wants to tell you that he is a clean man. He's an agent of change. He believes in integrity. He is a champion and a paragon of integrity. And then on the other side of his mouth, he is Musability.
Musability.
Yeah.
Ability of oppressing.
Yeah, Musability of all people. 80 million folks. These Europeans are having to pay interest on this loan while Musability is enjoying the people's money. And Wade Power is the CEO of the company. She's the one, they're all making money from the people. Then she comes on social media and be trying to act like, you know, she has all the brightest ideas on what a new Liberia should look like and how integrity should be the number one thing, the order of the day. Yeah. Can you imagine that? And Francis Kokko, the Chief Justice, outgoing, is complicit in this travesty of justice. But the Supreme Court ordered that the tank farm should not be operated while the case is in court. Is that not fair?
Totally fair.
Musa believes that there is some kind of foul play against him by these guys. They should go to court and resolve the matter. But
of course, the man was depending on something. That's why he took them to court. The man knew.
He knew he could play the court. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. He knew Musability could manipulate the court to get the court to turn over the tank farm to him, to be running while the matter is in court. Even though the Supreme Court, the court ordered that the tank farm not be operated, but Belete knew he could make this happen. Belete knew that. And that's why he took them to court. Look at this stupid person talking about we hate Koji. When did Koji go to school? Huh? You want to compare me and Jefferson Koji? When Koji opens his mouth, can you compare Koji with me? Is something wrong with you? Koji did not go to school. The University of Liberia does not have an online facility. He could not have attended school. He didn't go to class. So then where did he go to school? Baka? Tell me. Who on here ever heard one day that Jefferson Koji was attending class at LU? Who? Tell me, please. Who on here can tell me that they ever heard Jefferson Koji was going to school? Just tell me. Whoever spotted him in the classroom? Koji is a public figure. If Koji was going to class, people would have seen Koji in the classroom. How is it that nobody can say Koji and I were classmates? Tell me now. You talking about hate? What kind of nonsense you talking about? Hate? Who hit that stupid boy? That boy was dull or something. The American ambassador dealt with him good. Who on here watching or listening to any of our platforms can say, I know for a fact that Jefferson Koji was going to school? Tell me. Did you sit in class with Koji? Tell me now. What kind of nonsense is that? Can't tell we hate Koji. What I hate him for? That stupid little boy who has destroyed his life. Koji is a 1985 born. I'm 3 years older than he is. His life is already destroyed. What is he going to be? Who's going to give Koji a job based on that degree that he did not earn? Tell me. Who's going to hire Koji? Koji has his whole life ahead of him. He's a young man. Who's going to offer Koji a job tomorrow based on that degree that he did not earn? Waka, you tell me. Everybody knows that Koji did not go to school. So who's going to give him a job tomorrow? He has no real experience. What? Experience in being city mayor with a city all dirty? But what's the mark of accomplishment? What's the experience? Where is his competence? Who's going to give him a job based on that? Somebody please tell me, if you sat in a classroom with Jefferson Koji at the University of Liberia and you did senior courses or whatever, tell me. But I'm finished with that. Going to go back to the Musa Belin and Kakwa thing. So
I see people saying we should leave Musa Belete. This is what I can make me sick sometimes. When we have issue on other people that you against, when we're talking about it here, you will be celebrating. But when we have on somebody that you are supporting, when we talk about it here, leave the man. I see Musa Keita. Musa Keita is a big brother of mine, and normally they think about our tribe and whatsoever. You normally want to involve tribalism into politics, and for me, I don't buy that.
Thank God that you the Mandingo man, you don't want to deal with it. You respond to him, but I don't want to talk because they say I'm against Mandingo people.
Yeah, I'm seriously against what normally you do. You know, Musa Belete, we all know who he is. There is nowhere a little child in Liberia, you talk about Musa Belete, you don't know his character. So if we're talking about what he's doing to the people, then you come here and say we should leave in. Now, for instance, if we just elect you, you want to contest in, you contested and you want to be a representative in district number 2. If we just make mistake and elect you now, Mr. Bibela Musa Keita, as the next lawmaker of district number 2, and something happen in the district, Musa Belete just do something in the district, I know within yourself, you will defend him and do whatsoever thing just to protect him. That's what I'm thinking now. So if something happened, we normally said, we talk about George Manning, we are President George Manning, you will celebrate. We'll talk about other people, you will celebrate, you will join us to talk about the person. But when it comes to our own, that we know that he's doing something wrong to other people. Now, if you are the one that was spending your millions of dollars between you and Musa Belete, you think you will be happy about what he did to the people? Or you think you will be happy about what he's doing to you if you are the one spending your money? No, it shouldn't be like that. So that's what I say here on this platform. People change. For us, we are constant. The folks in the UP, when we're against the Unity Party, when we have our radio station, they were against us. Now they are supporting us because we are against the CDC, because back then CDC was supporting us when we're against Unity Party. So we remain consistent. That's why we say here, we are just for the people.
Nothing has changed about us, brother.
Nothing change about us. But some people will have that mindset that we flip-flopping. No, we are not flip-flopping. The support base, those that are supporting us are the ones flip-flopping. When we're against CDC, now when we are against CDC about the way they are governing the country, United Party people now celebrating us. They are clapping for us. They are supporting us. But when we were against them yesterday, they were against us and they were, calling all sort of names. So you see, those are some of the things that when we sit on the platform, we tell people that we are not flip-flopping. The supporters are the one flip-flopping. So people, Musa, you have to try to at least some time. Yeah, let's look at the issue and talk about it and forget about the tribalism and all the other things, man. Please, I beg you. That's just my 1 cent.
And besides the millions Musa Belete gets, he does not spend it on the Mandingo community. So why would anybody you go back pick out to become chairman of a political party? How does that benefit the hardworking? Let me tell you something. Before we take our guest here, we have a young man here who is a contestant, who is an aspirant, a representative aspirant in District Number 3, Margibi County. He's been doing some fantastic work there, and we have the privilege and pleasure to be speaking with him this morning. But before I just go for it, let me just say something to you. You see, I have been accused of being against when people don't got something to say, oh yeah, because I ain't like Mandingo people. But it's just very, very foolish, because people who know me well know that it's absolute nonsense. My co-host is a Mandingo man right here. He's been working with me for many, many years. Bwaka was director of radio at our radio station. And we've had several Mandingo people, and we never hired them based on the fact that they are Mandingo. We hired them based on the fact that they have the competence to know what they can do. Nobody should back anybody here because the man is your kinsman. The man does something wrong to people. Investors take their money, they borrow money from a bank, they bring it to the country, Bwaka. They invest in something that it belongs to you and them. You decide to crook them. You're running the facility, even though the code says don't touch that facility. You manage to get the code to allow you undercover to still be running the facility while the people are suffering and they are paying interest. It's just ridiculous. It's sad. But anyway, we'll go back there some other day. Let's now go and speak with this fine young gentleman we have here, representative aspirant, District Number 3, Margibi County, Mr. Lawrence C. Morba. Mr. Morba, good morning. Welcome to the Costa Show.
Good morning, Mr. Costa, and good morning to peace-loving people, citizens of Liberia, and our peace-loving citizens of Margibi County. And good morning also to my citizens and followers of District Number 3.
Beautiful. So, Mr. Morba, I've heard about you, and I've seen pictures of the good work that you're doing in District 3, Margibi County. First of all, for those who do not know, where is District 3 in Margibi? I'm familiar with Margibi, so I think I know where District 3 is, but for those who do not know, what are
District Number 3 have two separate portions. We have the upper side of the district and we have the lower side of the district. That is the divisions and that are Kakata. So like 85% of the popularity is, they are in Kakata, and the rest of 15% residing in the division belt, that is the Firestone region. So the district is subdivided into two branches, that is up on the lower end.
Most of the people are in Kakata city.
Yes, in Kakata. 85% of the popularity are in Kakata.
That's good. And you are running for representative in that district. Why are you running for a representative? What makes you want to become a representative?
Well, thank you. It's all started, that was in 2016 when I first, started. I wish I was students at the Bogo Washington Institute, where I was proud to have attended the demonstration schools in Kakata, attended Langolebe Government High School, and I ended up at the Bogo Washington Institute where I obtained a diploma in literacy. But at the time when we were in BWI, we started to build our leadership skills at BWI. We started to, govern ourselves, to build our working relationship with our colleagues. And we first drafted an idea of many organizations that which would help a lot of students. But to be frank, I didn't purposely came up with that mind of context. I didn't just jump to say, I want to be represented. When I started my work, my advocacy is I wish that we drafted that ideas of helping the students. A lot of young people from Margibi who able to achieve their education, and it was given to people who were tested for it, not just people who were full. we lobbied around and we got people that were tested to have educations, and we ran out the assistance to them. We through the power of God. And when through our working relationship, that was in 2016, 2017, during the general elections, and we built our relationship with the people. We managed our forces. We advocated, and a lot of young people started to confide into us. 2017, 2018, one morning I just left sitting, I saw clock sessions of young people, coming to petition me. They said, well, we have observed the leadership of the current representative for the past years now, and I mean, she seems to be performing that poorly in the district. So we thought it was that this time around we have that young person that going to liberate the people, because you are a young man that you're not working, but you have that mind, you have that sympathy of people. You believe in your people, as a young man. So we thought it was to petition you, I mean, so that you can contest for the district and be the eyes of the young people. So for that, we took it as a challenge. And looking at my age, my mother from at 8. Honestly, my parents, they from what my colleagues were drafting at, but they received a lot of advice that you just stop the ball dream properly, that where God said you're going to be. So you don't stop what you're destined to be. If God said the man going to be a leader, you cannot stop it. So if you Frank at 8, it cannot just stop that. So when they told me that, I said, but I'm not working now. And the issue of representing seat is about contesting for any political seat in Liberia is about money, because for the past times we've been observing the political heat of the country, politicians, you don't have money, your voice can go nowhere. And the coalition said, well, we will not betray you. We're going to be with you in the struggle. We're going to support your dreams. We're going to ensure that the people know who you are. We're going to ensure that you be the next representative of Maggie. But I took that as a challenge. I mean, it's motivated me a lot to keep on pushing, to keep on working in the interest of the young people, and that's what we were doing. So I took that challenge, and that's how we started moving around. We started getting engaged with our people. We started moving around, getting engaged, helping some people that we intend to render the assistance to. But I'm a young man. I just turned 25 years of age. I was born 97, September 16. We're at the CS Rennie Hospital, But based on our initiative, it's about how we came out, the mind that we created at the time for people. We didn't come out with that tinted character. We came out with that fixed mind of portraying a better leadership.
Let me hold you right, Lauren. So you've answered sufficiently why you want to run to become representative. So let's now ask you, what are you doing now in your district? What kind of activities are you engaged in? I've seen pictures of things you're doing, constructing bridges, local, you're doing initiatives to empower the local people and stuff like that. Tell us about some of these things, and how are you funding them? How are you paying for them? You just said.
Thank you. Firstly, I would like to appreciate my dad, that is Maurice Momolu Ducle, who have been extremely doing that work for me. Always there for me. And also extend my heartfelt thanks to Maggie County Senator as well, Senator James Imananukwe, who also believe in the leadership of, when you are proceeding positively and have that mind of running assistance to you, I'm much appreciating for that. But it all started, like I said, I'm not working currently. I'm not working. I don't have any businesses running. But, our relationship, our good working relationship with our people, and, I believe in a teamwork. And I try to advocate, lobby around to have getting things done. And, it's applause. The issue of me today vowing of, I want to be represented, I'm paving the road, not just for my Gibeons or not just for Lauren, but I'm paving the road for other young people to see and follow my footsteps. The fact is, the future of our country, Liberia, is resting on the shoulder of the young people. So we have to take that mantle of authority. We have to gear towards the future of our country. So when we started to advocate, lobby around people, and people started to entrust over money. People tried to entrust over money. The first sum of money I ever received was to open a junior project. What I received 2,000. I could be that young man the same pocket my 2,000 in my pocket, because they found nobody watching me. Nobody knew where I got my money from. I could pocket my money in my pocket and live my b-ball life, but I felt I take it necessarily like our people deserve better. So I invested that money into the juniors project, and I lobbied around with people, and that's how we opened the juniors. And we started getting engaged. Like I said, we have been our strength. I've been on God come first and advocacies. We go around, we lobby, we beg people who believe in us, who believe in the people, who believe in seeing the good work or good way for our people. We go around, we lobby around them. and they run out such assistance, and we try to not pocket it or have grief to it. We open up and run out the assistance to our people. Like I'm an aspirant that all through my tenure, and I declare my intentions. I have not one day make a promise to anybody. I have not one day go and go and break ground or do break ground which are not completed. I started a 4 modern bridges project. I dedicated to it. I built a lot of hand pumps. I built town hall. I opened units. I make some donations. So more often, you are not just the only person asking me where I'm taking my funding from. There are a lot of people. I appear on a lot of radio stations. They ask me, say, but as a young man,
so you are generating funds from your supporters to do these projects. So let's talk about some of the projects now. Let's be strategic in communicating with the people. So you're doing projects. What types of projects? As I said, I named one of them. I saw pictures of a bridge to say.
Yeah, we are engaged into 2 main impacts into our people. That is the human development. We have the human resource development capacity. We're building that, and we have some development infrastructure. That is, we are engaged. We are build bridges, and we are build town hall. We are open drainages. We are build hand pumps, and I mean I can go on and on to name them. And when it comes to some donations, I don't really like to make sometimes reference on donation because almost every day I make donation. Like hopefully tomorrow I'm gonna be taking a massive tour in every clinics and hospitals in my country. I'm going to be identifying with people who have failed people who cannot pay their bills, or people who have been stuck in the hospital because of finance. So we are lobbying around, and some people fail for the girl live funding. We are reserving, and for that program, for that tour tomorrow, we're going to get engaged with that. We're going to use it. And trust me, Mr. Costa, sometimes I go all the money. Father, I say I don't even get it to drink water. So now I sit and say, but with all the baby money I get, I go and spend the money. But sometimes I go broke. But I do that because of the mind that I have for leadership, and the mind that I have for our people. So we are being engaged in a lot of projects. We are being engaged in constant donations of Lapu, to our mothers, and we are impacting a lot of some struggling mothers or struggling people that find it difficult. Like a recent time, sometimes I take a survey on the street, on the principal street of Kolkata. If you take a survey, you see some responsible people, women that have their children at home, has their family, but they cannot afford. They are selling cold water on the head. How many dollars, $5? When you put $5 together to equip that money to out of 500, when will you generate 500 labor day? Because water is $5 labor day. So we should change that cold water market, market from cold water to something better that she can sustain herself and her family. So for that, I've been engaged into it not my first. I've been engaged into it, and I'm constantly been engaged with it. And I've been opening the only aspirant in my give that have gave direct. That is, I look at people who are struggling, who need it, and I try to run us how they call it mobile give direct. Okay. So we run a give direct to people as well.
That's very good. So like I said, I've heard a lot of things that you're doing. I've seen pictures and some video clips of a lot of the initiatives you're doing, and you're making quite an impact. But let's talk about if and when you are successful and you get elected by your people to become representative. The legislature it's a hell of a place, for lack of a better word. It's a very difficult environment. You're a very young man. You're 25 years old. Of course, you meet the age requirement to run. The age requirement, the minimum age is 25. So you're already by next year you should be 26 or maybe something like that. Now, so you clearly are qualified to run age-wise. That's not the issue. You seem to know why you want to go to the legislature, but tell us, why do you want to be a representative? You could serve your people in so many other capacities. In the legislature, even when you are fortunate to be elected to go there, what do you want to do there to make a difference?
One of the things that, one of the most important things is that I always tell people is that we should go beyond rhetoric and give our people what they deserve. That is that, my age sometimes, like what you're saying, a lot of people have been telling me that, I'm not really age or probably I'm not mature, but sometimes I call them and say the opposition, they bring them in business in here and tell them what lawmaking is. But the fact is we are introducing that new style of leadership, the style of bringing up a responsibility, transparency, fairness, honesty to the public. We are not following the footprint of any politician who have failed the people. We are not like a lot of places I go, people I'm from a political platform. I told you I say just a mere propaganda. If I come here today on your platform, Mr. Costa, I tell you that, oh, if I win election, I'm going to build, fire over hot bridges, I'm going to lay roads, I'm going to do this. It's just a mere propaganda. Lord, lead the people. Let us set to the vetting and see as to whether we worth the position. My words can speak for me. Let the people that were already tell people, don't support me because you see I'm lost.
I hear you, but I hear you. This is an opportunity where you're speaking to thousands of people, tens of thousands of people. You have an opportunity, not just people who are your constituents, but the larger society. Use this opportunity to tell us, if and when you become representative, what do you hope to do? A, B, C, D. What are your perspectives? What are your objectives? What is it you intend to do in the legislature?
I want to be, if I be represented, I can tell you on this public platform that I should be heard consistently with my three cardinal functions, that is lawmaking, oversight, and representations. I should be held accountable for that. The fact is that my function has been the other one, Benny Road, Green one is a social aspect of lawmaking. It's a social aspect of representing. So for that, I should be held liable for my three cardinal functions. I should be held responsible. I should be held accountable for that. But if I can't be lawmaker, then I abusing my functions, then I'm not serious. I'm not a serious-minded politician. Obviously, the people should keep me out. And the opportunity is I'm a young man. If I go in the House of Representatives, it's an opportunity for everybody. They say, yeah, if you don't want to add that, like the other politicians, which I know it will not, says, yeah, money cannot serve me till my old age because I'll be leaving power probably at the age of other 31, 32 years. What will that money do for me? So I should go there and represent my people adequately. I should go there to perform my three cabinet functions as a lawmaker. So I should be held accountable. I should be responsible for that, Mr. Costa.
Lawrence, I will say something to you, right? Contrary to what those people are saying, you come across as a very mature young man. For your age, for a 25-year-old young man, you come across very much mature, and that's a compliment. And I want to just say that, put that across. So don't mind what they're saying. If you believe this is what you want to do, pursue it. Do the best and be the best and develop a strategic plan. If and when you're elected, the things you hope to accomplish in the legislature, the things that you believe are wrong, and there are lots of things that are wrong about the legislature that you want to see corrected, and you want to become one of the people to make that happen. So that's all good and fine. So don't listen to what people say about you being young and inexperienced. Don't listen to that. Just do the best you can. If you get elected, try to be different. And you are right. You're a very young man, which is a huge advantage and not a disadvantage. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. But you should also be aware that if you're fortunate to get there, to get elected, when you get to the legislature, because you're young, anything you do, good or bad, will determine your future.
Of course.
Because you're very, very young. So you have to bear that in mind. So that is very, very important. And I thought to stress that point to you. So it's good having you on here. We wish you the best of luck in your endeavors to become representative. I myself, the people have asked me, the people of Montserrat County, the Liberian people, they've asked me to run for the Senate of Montserrat County. So perhaps if we both run and are fortunate to get elected, we might be colleagues, just in different branches. In different houses. You, the House of Representatives, and I, hopefully, the Senate, if I do accept and run, and by God's grace, if I win. So I want to wish you all the best.
Thank you.
And continue to do what you think is best to make an impact on the people's lives. Aside from your aspiration to become representative, but just the things that I've seen you do. Some people may say, oh, he's doing it because he's running, but it doesn't matter to me. The fact that you're doing what you're doing with the very meager resources that you're able to mobilize from supporters, I think you should continue to do that, to make that impact and help people. So I'm going to give you a minute to close up.
Thank you, Mr. Costa. Thanks for the platform. thanks to the listener as well. Like I said, always, everywhere I go, always ask people, people who believe in this process, or people who believe that it is time for the young people to take the matter authority, this all, I mean, together we can get this done. Together we believe that, the difference can be made. This cannot happen alone. I cannot make myself represented. We have to work together. And I'm saying that also to my country as well, because they are all following the show, other radio stations in my give relaying the platform this morning. I'm urging them to remain focused. That will make gear to the process. That will keep the momentum, and we believe that 2023 is a march. We're going to show God. We're going to make a difference. So I want to say thank you for the platform. Thanks for allowing me to appear on your show.
Well, we look forward to having you again. Consider this your introductory appearance on the Costa Show. Now that we've made acquaintance on the show, we look forward to engaging with you as we inch closer to the elections. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
I salute you, veteran. Thank you.
Best of luck. Bye-bye. Well, folks, there you have it. As a young man, he's running for representative, District 3, Malgibi County. And he came on this morning on our platform to talk about his bid and what he hopes to accomplish if and when elected representative to represent the people of District 3, Malgibi. Bagan?
Yeah.
We were talking there, and then we had to take our young brother there. So, folks, tribalism is a disease in our country, and no one tribe is guilty of it. No one tribe. Some tribes may be more tribalistic than other tribes, and that's arguable, but no one tribe is innocent. That's what I meant to say. No single tribe is innocent of tribalism. Not all Liberians are tribalistic, because I am not. I know Bwaka is not. No. I know lots of people that are not. But most Liberians are tribalistic. Tribalistic in a negative sense. Now, there's nothing wrong with loving your tribe and celebrating your tribe. That is not tribalism. When I hear people speak Pele Bwaka, especially when I am, say, here in the US, when I run into people, or sometimes when people call me who know that I'm Pele, and they strike a conversation with me in Pele, there's something that it does to me. It just has a way of just nibbling at my heartstrings. It makes me feel so wobbly. It just makes me feel fuzzy and warm on the inside. I'm sure it does that to you especially when you are removed from your society. Yeah. You're in a distant place and you meet somebody who strikes a conversation with you in Mandingo.
Yeah.
How does it make you feel? It makes you feel good.
Good. Seriously.
It does that to me when I hear people speak Pele. Not only that, also when I hear people speak, and I'm going to be fair because I'm right there between Pele and the Congo. When I hear people speak in that way, with that Congo tone, it makes me feel that way too. It sends my mind rushing back to those days when I lived with my uncle Jeremiah Walker, or, when I lived with, it sends my mind rushing back there. So it's just who we are. Who we are, we cannot divorce it from who we are. There's nothing wrong with loving your tribe and being proud of the tribe that you come from. But when your kinsman or your kinswoman is wrong, dead wrong, and you defend them only because they are your kinsman or your kinswoman, it is tribalism. It is wrong. And I think I know a way we can destroy or seek or attempt to destroy tribalism in our country. And it is something that I hope one day, God willing, inshallah, when I sort of am mounted to the presidency of our country, and I know God will make this happen one day. My vision to destroy tribalism, And I have a plan for every problem we have as a country, almost every problem. I've been developing this vision. My vision is a multifaceted vision. It's got different components, different parts, different moving parts. I've got a plan on how we can destroy tribalism. But it is the political system of our country that gives life, or that keeps tribalism alive. It sustains it. And let me tell you how. Bwaga is a Mandingo man. He becomes president of Liberia. He decides to promote mostly Mandingo people. Mandingo people start getting all the big contracts, even when they don't deserve it. Mandingo people get all the key jobs in the government. If a Mandingo man does wrong, he goes to court. Bwaga tries to use his influence to ensure that Mandingo man gets off the hook, even though he's wrong. That is what makes other people in other tribes, you know what they do? They cling together. That's what they do. They cling together. They say, oh, you see, the Mandingo man protecting his kinsman. We too will protect our own. But the day, God willing, I become president of Liberia. Here's my vision for how we deal with tribalism. One of the things that we would do on the economic front is to empower all people across all tribes. And how do we do that? I have a plan. We have to take our economy back from the foreigners who control it. That doesn't mean we should kick them out of the country. We need them. But we have to take over certain aspects of the economy, the low-hanging fruits, and empower Liberians to run it. For example, all the road contracts, they go to who? Foreigners. Okay?
Yeah.
The big import business, the rice, for example, is a complete cartel. It's controlled by the foreigners. We got to take them out of these sectors and bring Liberians on board. One of the ways the government can do that, we can lead on this, is to take a consortium, a group of Liberians, encompassing all the tribes of our country. Gil man, Kra man, Mandingo man, Loma man, Pele man, Kisi man, Vai, Mende, all. We bring these tribes. We form a company, a group, several companies, and we take Liberians from all the tribes, and we form 3, 4, 5 companies, and we go to the rice sector. We call the Lebanese people, Indians who control the rice market, and say, look, we're giving you 9 months to vacate the rice market. Liberians will take over. We will provide the access to capital through the commercial banks, which the government will back. We will back these loans. The commercial banks will issue letters of credit to these Liberian companies, which would encompass. So rather than picking all Pele people or majority Pele people, we'll pick all the tribes from several companies. And then all of them can go and take over the rice market, 3, 4, 5 different companies. It's a $245 million market a year. And now, Gilman will see a fellow Gilman as part of this project, because all of them are going to become what, multi-millionaires in no time. So they see a nationally driven initiative led by the president of the country. He's bringing all tribes, forming a number of companies, a consortium of companies, and giving them a whole sector, the rice market, securing access to credit or credit so that they can become multi-millionaires. The Gilman sees Gilman as part of this effort. The Kra man sees Kra man as part of this effort. The Loma man sees Loma man as part of this effort. And they see these people who are not necessarily buddies of the president, friends of the president. They are just Liberians who happen to be deserving of this opportunity like every other Liberian. And yet they are. And maybe we'll even do a lottery. We'll do a lottery. So they can say they were handpicked. We do a lottery. So anybody, but we do a lottery to select the people and give the sector to them and find a capital for them. That's one. That's on the economic front. That's just one. The other way to do it is to ensure that when people come for contracts, that it will not just be people who belong to the president's tribe or people who belong to the president's, but people who are Liberians from different tribes can all be able to seek out opportunities and get these opportunities because they are Liberian citizens, period. But here's the more important way, Bwagai. The most effective way that I would do this as president of the country. When a Pele man, who's my kinsman, or a Congo man, who's my kinsman too, does something wrong, he should not expect to be treated leniently because he is my kinsman. He should be treated just as harshly as the law requires. So that when a Kisi man, or a crime man, or a Mandingo man goes to court too, or does something wrong against the state, and the state is prosecuting him, they will prosecute him the exact same way. Because now the crime man will say, oh, but when the Pele man did something, who is the kinsman of the president, when the Congo man did something, who is also a kinsman of the president, did something wrong, the government severely prosecuted him according to the law, the letter and spirit of the. So now, why should I, a Kisi man, expect the president to be lenient with me? Why should I, a crime man, expect the president to be lenient with me? Okay, fairness and justice. The principle, the philosophy is when you are fair with all people, nobody will have any reason to say, we got to defend our kinsman. We got to defend our kinsman. No, because the government operates based on fairness and justice and equity. We treat all people, irrespective of your tribe, of your religion, we treat all people fairly. And so guess what? You get to the point where nobody now will say, let's go defend our kinsman. Why will you defend your kinsman? Because you have now come to the point where you know that the president will ensure that everybody is treated fairly and equally before the law. Whether he is Kio or Kran or Mandingo or Loma, it does not matter. That the law will apply to all, equally to all. Okay? If such a thing is practiced, is incorporated into the governance philosophy of whoever is president of the republic, the country will change. People will not be as tribalistic as they are. Another thing, when you are the minister at a ministry, and all the people who work closest to you, they are your kinsmen, it will be discouraged. It will become policy that you are not to hire unfairly, that the hiring practices of people in government must be based on qualification. You are not allowed to have more than 2 Mandingo men running your office. Because you Mandingo men, so all your men in your office being Mandingo people, you are not allowed to do that. If you practice this sort of thing, if you practice this sort of thing, the country will begin to change. The country will begin to change. You promote all people based on the fact that they can make a contribution, that they are Liberian first before their tribe. Then you lead a national effort where we put our Liberianness first before we put our tribe second. The first thing that should bind us together, Bwakai, is our joint patrimony. We are Liberian. All of us are Liberian. Together, the whole country, we are Liberians, but Liberian is what describes you first. What are you? You are a Liberian. You are Liberian. You are a Liberian citizen, and that makes you Liberian. So our Liberianness should be projected over our tribe. Treat everybody fairly. You treat Mandingo men fairly, Mandingo people will not feel like they're outsiders. There are lots of Mandingo people who feel like they're outsiders because the way the system has always been, and the way you can change that, it's not by giving patronage or token jobs. You take 1 Mandingo man, 2 Mandingo men, gain let job somewhere. You say, oh, but Mandingo going to government too. Oh. No. That's tokenism. It's called tokenism. It's called tokenism. We will not practice tokenism. We will do a comprehensive, a genuine, a sincere grassroots effort at building a cohesive, harmonious society where all people can feel a part, where every child, boy, girl, man, woman can feel that they can become whatever they want to become in their country. Once you do that, once the law works for everybody, when Gil man does run the law, punishes him the same way as he would a crime man, why would any Gil man want to defend his brother Gil man? Why would I defend you, Baga, when I know that it will happen to the next man?
I won't.
When Kabila Jana was treated the way he was treated, the reason Mandingo people were angry because they felt that it was not fair. You understand, Baga? And so that's why you saw most of the people who were protesting or were making noise were Mandingo people, but it was not just Mandingo people. When some of us realized that it was a political witch hunt, we were all against it. So when you treat people fairly, Waka, their kinsmen will have no reason to come out to defend them. If I know that my man, they charge my kinsmen with a crime, and I know the system is fair, Waka, you think I will need to defend my kinsmen?
No.
Because I know the system has proven to be fair. Over time, we have gained confidence in the system. Right now, we do not have confidence in the system. The way you build confidence in the system, Wakai, is you do it systematically. You got to start from somewhere. When you start being fair by the policies you make, by the actions you take, by the programs you put in place to incorporate all people, irrespective of their tribe, of their religion, over time, people will begin to feel that the system works for them all. And when they believe that the system works for them all, nobody will stand up to say, we got to protect our brother, we got to protect our sister. They will not do that. The Pele people have a parable, and I will leave you all with this. And my uncle Jeremiah Walker, peace to his ashes, is the one who made me learn this parable. I will never forget. One day, that man disgraced me in chapel. We had gone to morning devotion service. We used to, every morning, Monday to Thursday, then Friday, we would go to what they call flag post. We all would march from all the different buildings across the massive campus, and we would march to the chapel for morning devotion. It was a ritual. We performed that every day. And I was in a choir. Or he forced me to join the choir. And I never liked it because I had this high-pitched voice. It took years before my voice began to really develop with some bass and some tenor. And so one day we went to chapel, and I didn't go up because the choirsters used to sit up on the stage, on the platform. We had our benches there. Soprano, alto, tenor, and bass. The 4 benches for the choir. And Uncle Jerry didn't see me upstairs that day. I wasn't sitting there. That day, he called me up with hundreds of students in the chapel, including in front of a girl that I was in love with, or infatuated about, at least. That's what I thought I was at the time. But like, imagine that. That man called me up. That was one of the most humiliating moments of my life. I will never forget that moment until I will go to the grave with that experience, with that experience. I had never before sweated as much as I did that day. The whole floor was wet, soaked with my sweat, profusely sweating. And I say profusely sweating, I'm reminded of that video of Prince Johnson saying that Joey was
profusely sweating profusely.
I was sweating profusely, Boga. The man called me up. He went up to the podium. He knew, he looked, he saw that I was not in the bench, sitting with the rest of the girls singing soprano. Imagine, I was the only boy singing soprano. He said, where's Henry Foster? I was in the pew, in the general pews, sitting there with the rest of the student congregation. And that man said, young man, come up here. This is the man I was living with. This is the man who lived in the same house with me. But on campus, he treated me like I was not staying with him. Okay. He treated me like I wasn't staying with him. This man called me up. He said, young man, come up here. Okay, I got up. Hundreds of students. Everybody turned. Everybody knew who I was. I mean, I was Henry Costa. Not only was I the nephew of the principal, superintendent of the school, but I was also a troublemaker. So people knew me. And I was very vociferous, very opinionated. I've always been. That man called me up. Young man, come up here. You remember the part where I told you when I hear people speak like that in the Congo tone and the Congo accent, and I say it does something to me?
Yeah.
So when I try to mimic Uncle Jerry, it just does. Young man, yes. And on campus, I don't call him Uncle Jerry. I wouldn't call him Uncle Jerry on campus. Dr. Walker or Reverend Walker. He said, come up here. I walked up there. You go. This place is packed. And I'm walking up there, you go. And I was still wearing shorts then. We were not wearing long pants here. We hadn't moved up to the 7th grade. So I was in, I believe, the 6th grade. I was still wearing shorts. So my long legs were all exposed from the knee downwards. I walked up there, in the auditorium with hundreds of students. All these hundreds of eyeballs zoomed on me. He said, young man, why are you not sitting up here with the choir? Sit down. Sit. Then you see him gesticulating with his hand. Sit down. That man ordering me to sit down on the bare floor in the chapel. I think I knelt at first. I'm trying to avoid sitting flat. I said, sit. And I sat down. I sat down with the legs. Then he said, stretch your legs out. I stretched my long legs out in front of me. I'm sitting there on my behind. And then he said something. He said, the Pele people have a parable. He could speak Pele very well. He said, the Pele people have a parable. They said, and if you're Pele, you would understand what that means. Is Opason. The Opason likes to roam around the village, around the town.
Yeah.
In the Bogaba Hill, right? That's what they like to be. So the parable means Opason. Are you smelling your friend's head burning in the village on somebody's fire height? Because yours could be next. He's telling the rest of the congregation, the student population, the student populace. You see what I'm doing to this young man who's my own nephew who lives with me?
Yours could be next.
But he also used that parable when his own son, he had his own son expelled from the school, Fransopia Walker. He used that parable. He had his son, his biological son, Fransopia Walker, expelled from the school. And I sat on the floor that day. I started crying. I was so mad. I'll tell you this joke. There are hundreds of students in the chapel. Here I am disgraced in front of hundreds of students, some of them friends of mine, classmates of mine. I knew how they would laugh at me for weeks or months or for the rest of the school year. But none of them bothered me more than the shame and humiliation I felt from one particular student, one girl. Now that is a joke. It didn't. It's like I basically zoomed everybody out. It was as if there was only one particular student in front of whom I had just been disgraced. It didn't mind all my classmates. Because this is the girl I had a crush on, and this is the girl who was supposed to be my girlfriend, right? And so that was the one person. My man, after chapel that day, I was the last to get up. They imprint my legs. It was as if I had imprinted my legs on the floor. The thing on the floor. Still stretched out there. And I got up. I was so ashamed to even go back to class to my friends. And Miss Thelma Morgan, beast or actress, I was not a big fan of hers. You know why? Not because she was a bad woman. She was a strict disciplinarian, no nonsense. So I didn't really like her that much. And it was very unique to me. But she did something that day. Okay. She made me see her differently that day. Miss Thelma Morgan, she was the vice principal for student affairs. She was a strict disciplinarian, a Sierra Leonean woman who had lived in Liberia so many years. Thelma Morgan waited for me that day as I walked. I took my time. As I walked outside of the chapel, and she stopped me at the entrance. She said, she tried to console me, Boakai. She said, "See, your uncle, he doesn't mean harm. Just don't be stubborn. Go sit up with the rest of the students, the choristers." And so I listened that day. I learned my lesson, you boy. Every day when we go to the chapel, the first thing I will do, I will walk up there and sit with those girls until I got the music teacher, Urias Brooks, to help me train my voice so that I could move to the tenor bench. I didn't want to sing soprano. I was so humiliated singing soprano with the rest of the guys. So I trained, he helped me train my voice until I eventually began to sing tenor. And then I believe at some point I moved to bass. I started singing bass. So what I'm saying that the moral of the story is, okay, when you are a leader and you treat everybody fairly and equally, people will not complain or will not jump to defend their own because they believe you are being unfair or you're being biased in your treatment of them. That is the moral of the story, why I shared this story with you. And I'll leave you with this. Opossum, are you smelling your friend's head burning?
Head?
The next head on that fire could be yours. No one is exempt. Thank you so much. God bless you. Have yourself a lovely day. Tomorrow, I will not be on the show, so Bwaga will not be here as well. I'm traveling out of state today, and I will be back tomorrow. God bless you. Have yourselves a good day. We will be back here on Friday. Bye-bye.